Hello, welcome to the Jack and Joe show. Doesn't matter what happened on the pitch, doesn't change the fact that Fulham are Premier League next season. Joe Sansom, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I mean, I don't know if anyone watching this video would expect us to be a bit negative, but it was very much an oh no anyway sort of moment when that penalty happened. A bit annoying, but it doesn't change the fact that we didn't lose the game, which basically means we should be champions.
Yeah, Championes was the song, or Campiones, if you want to be technical about it, was the song that everyone was singing up until Dom Solanke, or I suppose Harry Wilson made the tackle. I didn't really see what was going on. If you listen to the pod, I've already told people that I was already standing at the front, waiting to celebrate, and I literally wasn't even looking at the pitch. I was basically just sort of taking it all in, and then suddenly penalty 1-1. Joe, we're going to talk about it briefly because you know what? I don't want to talk about Bournemouth as a club. You know, their manager, their backroom staff, their players. I don't care for them whatsoever. And like I say, I think I said this a few weeks ago, there's always a club who I really, really just dislike each season. I mean, one time it was Aston Villa, which ironically is weird because now I really like them. This season it's Norwich and Bournemouth. And I'm sure next season will be Bournemouth as well if they join us in the clays. Give us your thoughts on the game and your overall feelings.
Overall, I thought it was an absolutely terrible game, to be honest, which really surprised me. Mostly due to the refereeing, which I don't think we need to go into too much. I think everyone has already said it online, in the podcast, everywhere. It was so stop-start. And it really ruined what could have been a fantastic game between, let's face it, two of the best teams in the division, possibly the best two, definitely the best one. It's one of those where a draw was probably a fair result on the balance of play. I feel like neither team created anything really. In particular, Bournemouth, I can only remember the Cantwell shot that went just wide on around the 90-minute mark. It's a weird one because it would have been perfect for a Mitrovic goal for the whole Parker narrative. I think that would have almost like drew a line under it. You know, I feel like that would have been, okay, let's move on. The fact that they got that last minute goal, I think means that the tensions will stay even higher than they would have done if we'd have won. But the important thing is that we didn't lose this game because anything from this game basically ensured the title. A win would have obviously 99.999% guaranteed it. As it goes, we're pretty much there already. But a poor game, not a good one to watch, not our finest performance. I thought we were okay. Didn't think Bournemouth were that impressive either, but one of those where I can't complain too much. Stupid tackle from Harry Wilson, great header from Mitrovic. Sky bet 1-1, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Travis should have kept that one out, you know.
Yeah, well, he did.
Poor goalkeeping.
He did a weird celebration, didn't he? Which was very strange considering the ball was still in play when he was doing like a fist like celebration. Then the goal line technology went off. And by the way, the beauty of goal line technology is that when it's turned on, it's correct. So it was a goal. And if you literally look at the video, it was a goal. And it looked so tight. But if it's over the line, it's over the line.
A goal's a goal.
I don't see what the fuss is about. I don't see why certain Twitter outlets are saying that it was a bizarre goal. No, it just went over the line.
Yep, they've been muted. They don't need to be part of my life anymore, given our circumstances. There's some fun stuff to talk about today. There were the awards last night. There was a interesting interview with Neco Williams, which we'll get onto. I think that the way it was, people are seeing it at face value. They need to just read into it a little bit more. We'll get onto it. You know, we're only 4 minutes into this video, but I'm saying, any final words on Bournemouth? Any last thoughts?
Found it absolutely hilarious that I saw Matt Wells complaining at Rodak's time wasting, purely because I think that there were complaints last week of Travers doing the same thing at Coventry. And I'm pretty sure that when we played Bournemouth at home, Travers was booked in the first half. Is that right?
Yeah,
Am I remembering that right?
After half an hour, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy and very classy of him and whoever that fitness bloke is that was at Fulham for about a decade to celebrate in front of the coaching staff. Hope you're happy being 9 points behind. But anyway, those are my final thoughts. Look, we got a point. The point was the minimum we needed. We did it. We can win the league on Tuesday. Tomorrow at the time of filming, let's see if we can do it, because it would be beautiful to get that done at home once again.
Yeah. We've got another game tomorrow night. The penultimate game. We've got 3 games to go. It's quite interesting because if Bournemouth do go up, whether it be automatic or playoffs, I feel like next season we'll have Chelsea, we'll have Brentford, and Bournemouth will probably be the game which, again, everyone's looking out for because of the narrative. And like you said, the narrative is not settled. It doesn't help the fact that Marcus Silva got sent off and, there were words exchanged or whatever happened. And the, Parker, clapping the fans, Fulham, like tongue-in-cheek sort of Fulham fans, clapping the fans. That was interesting. That could rumble on to next season. I'm really hoping that Bournemouth do not go up. But I think they will, just given... Well, you know what? They've got to play Swansea tomorrow. Swansea are a good team. Forest come to us. But I'm not
Swansea are the best team in the league, right? Aren't they, Swansea?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Best team in the league, Swansea. My bad. Actually, to be fair, I do think Swansea might go up next season, but that's another conversation. I don't necessarily want Forest to win tomorrow night. I want to get the job done. Yeah. So yeah, it's sort of like a rock and a hard place sort of situation, Joe. Less than 48 hours after we were promoted, Fulham were linked with Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, one of the best midfielders in Europe. Was it a typo? Did they mean just to link the younger brother, the goalkeeper, and just put him in as well? But Graham Bailey's a very respectable journalist, was touting this story, and Twitter went nuts for about 3 hours.
Well, I hope Graham Bailey's sources are right, because if they are, then it sounds like we want Areola, Gomez, Williams, Target, Milinkovic-Savic,
and a points deduction.
Yeah, and a points deduction. Yeah, but it wouldn't matter if we get a points deduction, because of that way, it'd probably still get Champions League. So I don't think it was a typo, because in his article he actually mentions both. He says that we want a keeper, but the main one, with no disrespect to his brother, is the midfielder, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. And he is good mates with Mitrovic. So it sounds like there's something there. Whether it actually materialises, we don't know. Whether he's out of our price range, we don't know. And even if we put an offer in, would he want to come? That's a different question entirely. There's been far higher Premier League clubs that have been linked with him in the past, Tottenham, Man United, etc. We don't know if it would even materialise, but it's so fun to be linked to these players. And it feels like every window there's someone that's almost just like a cut above that we get linked with. And this could be the one this window. But we mustn't forget that there is a pull to Fulham, as there is to any London club. We have the money to pay high wages. It's a wonderful location. Would playing with one of your best mates play a part as well? It's a very interesting one, and it's one that I hope there is something to. But at the same time, I'm trying to remain grounded, and I do feel like he might be slightly out of our reach. But it's a fun one, nevertheless.
It's very fun, but also, I would argue that Fulham right now are a more attractive proposition to join than Chelsea. And I would actually put Brentford above Chelsea as well, given the situation down at the bridge. They're going to lose Rudiger. That was confirmed yesterday. Happy days. Azpilicueta kicking off with their own fans. It's all very fun. I know they lost. I know they won yesterday in the last minute. That was frustrating. But I'm just saying, maybe the cottage is better than the bridge that's potentially and probably will fall down at some point. So, yeah. Can I ask you a question, Joe?
Go on.
How do you feel about Fulham playing a tier above Everton next season? How does that sound to you?
It sounds crazy. And as you know, Jack, my mum's side of the family are from Liverpool.
Yes.
And they are Everton fans. We've had my nan on the fan cams a few years ago.
Yes.
It's really weird to me. Everton to me are one of the most... When I think of an established Premier League club, I basically think of the top 6 plus Everton. That's basically in my head what it always has been. From a family perspective, obviously, I don't want them to go down at all. I want them to get out of it. From a footballing perspective, in terms of Fulham and any team coming up, you've got to say that Everton going down would make the league an easier prospect next year. I don't think Everton will be in this situation if they stay up next season. I just don't think they'd let it happen again. they have been poor in recent seasons, but never this bad. And I do feel like they'd have to recruit better and have to really sort of turn this ship around. So it's a very interesting one because I feel like if a Burnley or a Leeds dropped, I feel like the quality of the league would be better next season with Everton in it rather than them. So it's a very interesting one. But to me, Fulham being in the league higher than Everton is quite crazy.
It's unthinkable.
It is unthinkable, yeah. But one thing I would say is from watching that Liverpool game yesterday, I thought they were unlucky. And if they play like that for the rest of the season, then I think they've still got a chance of getting out of it. But they've got a tough run in.
I think Everton fans had a point to be upset about the way in which Mane. Well, I would say that Mane not being sent off was probably the worst decision, rather than Gordon not getting the penalty, because I think in that situation there was 2 yellow card offences. And this is the thing that I fear about the Premier League. It's all very well and good, like having the fun of going up. But actually, if you sit down and think about it, if those sort of decisions are going to favour teams like Liverpool and Manchester City in the top 6 and whatever, it makes the Premier League a very unfun place to be. And I don't want to like piss on the bonfire before we've even got there. But we've been there before and we know what happens, especially when VAR is involved. But hopefully they just tighten those screws in the summer. Like I say, I think VAR is getting better and better each year. And like I said, like, I don't know why I said like twice, but if you just tighten up on those nuances of VAR, it will become a much simpler, quicker, and better game. The only thing I don't like about the Premier League right now, or since we've like got promoted, is the 5 subs, which obviously came into play before we even got promoted. So the fact that the 3 promoted teams didn't even get a say for the next season, I don't know why they didn't do that vote in the summer, for me was crazy. But I think you sort of have to understand the Premier League is a conglomerate and it makes decisions that you're not going to be happy with most of the times. Whereas the EFL, yeah, Sky Sports will probably put you at Middlesbrough on a Wednesday night, and that's very convenient. But that's probably as bad as it gets in terms of EFLs, unless you're under some sort of embargo / points deduction. And we're not going to be there next season, so let's focus Premier League. But yeah, just touching on Everton really quickly. Burnley's win yesterday was massive, absolutely massive. And I think that now Everton are staring relegation in the face. I think it's the first time they've been in that situation this season where they've been in the relegation zone with like teams like Burnley like 2 points clear of them. They've got work to do. And I've seen Everton a few times this season. Every time I've seen them, they've lost. They've been awful. And yeah, it's just been a bit of a mess. You sort of think, oh, they won't go down though. No way. They've got the quality. And actually, you look at the squad and, you know, Richarlison yesterday was playing pantomime villain. Gordon was diving and he's the only bright spot they've got in their team. And yeah, it's just a bit of a mess. But yeah, this is Fulhamish. It's not Evertonish or the Toffee TV as I've been watching over the last 24 hours to see their reaction to the Merseyside derby. Neco Williams gave a very interesting interview. I want to hear from you because you broke this down. You actually reacted quite erratically and said, "Get him gone." But actually, if you read it, you know, it doesn't actually uncover too much bad stuff.
I read the headline. I was instantly like, "Oh, play Tete, play Tete." Read the article and look, I don't think he said anything unfair at all. I think it's been a few headlines have been taken out of context a little bit. What he's basically said is he's going back to Liverpool, the better player in the summer. The end of his loan, that's it. He's going back to Liverpool. That's what is going to happen. He doesn't know where he'll play next season. It's not really his decision whether we come in for him or not, or whether other clubs come in, or whether Liverpool even want to sell / loan out. And one other comment that I think got brought up was him saying, "Oh, I played at AC Milan this year. Now I've gone to Barnsley." He wasn't using that as I don't think that's a negative at all. I think he was just saying he's had so many different experiences that it's improved his game. So me, like a few others, I think slightly overreacted at the clickbait headlines. Maybe not necessarily our fault, but we should have read the article first. What I would say is it wouldn't surprise me to see Neco Williams back at Fulham next season at all. I maintain that Tete is the better player at this moment in time. But if you ask me who has the highest ceiling, it is Neco Williams. Obviously, he's younger. I think he's better going forward than Tete. But in the Premier League, I would rather have the defensive solidity Interested to see if Williams is back involved tomorrow against Forest. Silver said that leaving Williams out was a technical decision against Bournemouth, which I imagine is because we were playing quite a, let's face it, decent attacking side in comparison with other teams in the league. Wanted the more defensive solidity away from home like we had against Middlesbrough. And normally he just puts one fullback on the bench. Williams did travel. He was there. You've seen in pictures that he was there behind the dugout. So I don't think there's any bad blood or anything's gone wrong behind the scenes. I think it was a purely technical decision. What I would say is that if a technical decision is being made on Williams not being, maybe I'm putting words in Silver's mouth, but not good enough defensively against some of the better sides, what does that say for the Premier League next season? I do think that Tete and Williams together as our two options are Premier League quality, and that's one position sorted if we could get it done. But very interested to see what actually materialises this summer.
Yeah, I think that was a balanced argument that you made there. There was a rumour circulating about Fabio's moves to Liverpool breaking down, which Liverpool weren't happy with us. They didn't want us to play Williams. I don't really read it fully or understand it really fully. I just sort of scrolled past it and went, oh no, anyway. Any thoughts on
that? Not really. I don't think it's true. I think that William... what's his name? Forgotten him already. Carvalho is gone, and I don't think that could be anything to do with the Williams not playing situation at all. It doesn't make any sense, personally.
Fine. We'll just ignore that one then. And then we had the EFL Awards last night. I was actually waiting for the results. I knew what the result was going to be, but Joe, let's in terms of Mitrovic being player of the season, but. Tim Ream not getting in the team this season, well, for me was quite surprising. They chose Tosin over Ream, which I thought was actually slightly Keanu Harsh-Brown, because I thought that Tim Ream has had a really strong, given his age and the physical condition he may be in after a long career, to play at that high level, top of the league all season, is very impressive. But Tosin, of course, another fantastic player. So it's either or, but. If gun to my head, I would have gone with Tim Ream.
Yeah, I think I'd have gone with Ream as well, especially as he's started every game.
He has, yeah.
And, I think the only minutes he's missed was when he went off injured against Hull, like the last 60 or something like that. But, Tosin's been great too. I would have gone with Ream. Robinson, a lot of people were calling out as a bit of a surprise, but I would sort of argue that with who's been a better left-back this season in the league. I don't think there's many options. You could argue Zamora from Bournemouth has been quite good, but he's had a lot of injuries. He's missed a lot of action when he started really well. And I think Robinson, in the end, we've, including me, been critical of him. There's not many that I would take instead of him in the Championship, in all honesty. Maybe Toffolo from Huddersfield, who's been quite good this season.
I was going to say Toffolo,
yeah. But yeah, I was happy to see 4 Fulham players. Could have been more, maybe should have been more, but the main one for me was Mitrovic deservedly winning Player of the Season.
Well, the team of the season was only made up of players from about 4 teams.
Yeah.
Which was quite extraordinary. And one of them was Huddersfield. And that was the goalkeeper in Nichols.
Nathan Jones, Manager of the Year? That. I think he's been up there, don't get me wrong. But
no, I agree with it 100%.
Really?
Because given their budget and just the stature of the club and the fact they're in the playoffs and they're in non-league. They're back in. Well, I went to the non-league playoff final between AFC Wimbledon and Luton. Luton lost on penalties, and now they're on the verge of playoffs to the Premier League. Unless you want to easily give it to Marco Silva because he's going to win the league, I think if you think outside the box on this one, Nathan Jones surely is your shout. I would have gone Chris Wilder, but I don't think they're going to get playoffs now.
Yeah,
but I suppose it is the correct decision, really. I can't think of any other standout. Carlos Corberán, maybe.
And I was also thinking Cooper from Forest.
Oh yeah, of course.
But there's a few. I guess it's maybe being a bit harsh to say shouldn't have got it because Luton are punching well above their weight. Yeah, but the rest of the team I thought was fair. It was mostly Forest, Bournemouth, Fulham players, a couple of Huddersfield, I think. Oh, yeah, Yates. That is one that is slightly bizarre for me. If you're going to put a Forest player in there, I think Jed Spence is quite deserving. I think
Yeah,
it was
definitely.
Worrell that was included as well. Yates, he's been better this season than he was last. I remember a few Forest fans were getting frustrated at him in previous years, but an odd one, I think.
What about Billing? I was pleased not to see him in there.
Yeah, well,
We'll move on. We are playing Nottingham Forest tomorrow.
yes.
That's going to be a very, very interesting game. It's on Sky, which is great if you're not going, but the cottage will be packed out again in 3 points, and Bournemouth dropping points will mean that we have secured the title. Will we run on the pitch? I can't be bothered. You know what I mean?
No.
We've done it once, don't need to do it again.
Enjoy if you do, but
I won't be there.
I won't be there. You can if you like.
Yeah. So, how do you see this one going? What's your team? What's your prediction?
I see this being it's probably quite self-explanatory, but such a tough game. Not just because of the opposition, but because of the context. They pretty much have to get something from this game, I think. I don't think Bournemouth will lose at Swansea. I think they'll pick up at least a point, possibly win it. And Forest really can't afford that gap getting any bigger. If anything, they need to close it before they go and play down there in a couple of, next week, I think it is. In their case, 2 games' time. I think that this is going to end in a draw, actually. I think that we'll cancel each other out. I think that we'll be going all out trying to win the title after we didn't manage it the other day. I think that Forest will really come at us trying to secure all 3 points. I think that they've got nothing to lose. They need to try and do it. Their playoff place is all but secured, possibly already secured. So they literally have nothing to lose. In terms of my team, I would put Robinson back in at left back. And my reasoning for that is Brian, fantastic against Preston and fantastic in recent weeks. Just a little bit nervy perhaps in that Bournemouth first half. A lot of fouls in there. And I put Robinson back in because I was more impressed with Robinson in the second half than I was with Brian in the first.
I got smoked the first half.
I think that's only fair that you put him back in, Robinson. Midfield, I would keep it the same with Reed and Kearney, Carvalho in front, and the same front 3. So I think the only change I would make is putting Robinson back in. I'd stick with Tete. I'd be happy to see Williams come back in as well, but I would stick with Tete because I thought he did fine against Bournemouth.
Sorry, breaking news. Terence Congolo starts for Fulham tonight.
Oh, wow.
And Terry Ablade is up front. But
Isn't he on loan at Wimbledon?
Yeah. Interesting. Sorry, I got distracted when that came in because I was basically trying to look for Sonny Hilton to see if he'd maybe be involved for tomorrow. He is in the team alongside Stansfield, Luke Harris, Kieran Bowie. John Page is all in there as well. That's a fantastic team, by the way, in terms of the under-23s. Pachaziti's on the bench. He could... Ibam Boat, who's a friend of my brother's, he's on the bench. So those under... I don't know what's going on with Ablade there, giving AFC Wimbledon are basically down now, which is very disappointing to see as a Wimbledon resident. I'm not sure if you feel the same, but...
I feel bad for him. It hasn't really worked out, that.
No, but I saw him play, actually. Couple of times for Wimbledon this season. He's been okay, but I mean, this is the Fulhamish podcast YouTube page. Let's stop talking about every single other club under the sun in this video. So team for Forest, I'd probably agree with you. Bring in Robinson for Brian. I was going to say bring in Sonny Hilton, but he's obviously playing tonight, so I think it will probably be, given that we need the title, pretty much same as really. I might like to see John McKelserry play maybe a full 90. That'd be quite nice. Probably decode over Reed, maybe get involved, but I think start Cabano from the front, from the start, with Wilson, Mitrovic, happy days. Mitrovic, of course, 41 goals. We hardly ever mentioned the fact that he's got like all these goals. We just talk about him just scoring, but he's 2 away from that record. Is he going to do it before the end of the season, Joe?
I think so, yeah. I really do. Wouldn't surprise me if he did it tomorrow night. Honestly, the way he's playing, half chance really against Bournemouth goal. It's just, I've never seen him playing the way he's playing now. Oh yeah, sorry. I forgot that if it crosses the line, it doesn't count. Unbelievable player, and also got to credit Wilson. Obviously, he's in our bad books for the penalty. Another fantastic delivery puts him on to 16 assists in the league this season, which quite frankly is incredible.
Mm.
Assist in the FA Cup as well, and a goal against Bristol City. Assist was against Man City. Phenomenal season from him.
You said draw. Did you give a score prediction?
I gave 1-1 as mine.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Tresmond.
Wow.
Because Forest have to win. This could open the game up
Yeah.
ridiculously. It could be a goal fest.
Tresmond, wow.
I could see us being like 3-1 down, and then Mitrovic like scoring a penalty in like this 77th minute, and then like we like absolutely bring it on them, and then we get another goal, like Mitrovic header or something, to
Fantastic.
1, break the record, and 2, take 2 points off Nottingham Forest. I think that's it to today. We've spoken a lot about a lot of things. There was that one Benfica rumor. We could touch on it.
Oh, yeah. I think maybe that's one for another time. I found one rogue tweet on the Bird app, and obviously I'm getting very giddy. I've got a tab open up here of his transfer market stats. So look forward to seeing whoever he is in black and white next season.
We have discussed this beforehand, so we can say it. If all results go our way tomorrow, i.e. Bournemouth drop points, we win the title. Where on earth are we going to be on Wednesday night?
We're going to have to be live.
You know, it actually pains me to say that because it's the UEFA Champions League semi-finals, but we're going to have to do it. Maybe a quick 15 minutes during half-time.
Yeah.
But no, it's a big occasion if you win the title. I think we should treat it with the amount of respect we treated it for the promotion stream, which, by the way, was, I think, my favourite stream we've ever done.
Yeah, me too. And the support and comments on that in the live chat and afterwards as well was great. So thanks everyone who watched either live or afterwards. It was really good fun.
I know the Marco Silva announcement stream was like amazing for views.
Yeah.
But I'm not all about the views. I'm about context and content. And I thought the promotion one was really fun. And it was just great vibes because we were already up. And so be it the videos for the rest of the season and into the summer, because Fulham are promoted. We're Premier League. Let's not forget the fact. And Joe, how delighted are you about that fact?
Oh, I'm absolutely delighted about that fact, Jack. I've loved people asking me about it at work. I've loved people commenting on it, just on the Bird app, on everything. It's just been fun. It's nice that it's done now. You know, we're in the end of April. We have no worries. You know, we're going to win the league. We've already got promoted. We can watch the playoffs in peace. We can watch the relegation battle in peace. It might be a bit rockier this time next year, as we know. So just enjoy it while it lasts, because this is a wonderful, wonderful period to be a Fulham fan.
It's almost, you know, the feeling of promotion and the summer leading up to the season is the best part of it, isn't it? Until the actual football 100%. Begins.
The build up to that opening day is just fantastic.
Like the fixtures, the kit, the new kit manufacturer. That's on my mind. AFC Wimbledon, I mentioned them again. They've just teamed up with Hummel. I'm really trying to bang that Hummel drum. We've got pre-season as well to look forward to as well. Big up George Ellick. He on the NTT20 podcast. He didn't necessarily say that Fulham were going to stay up. He said we've got the best chance we've had in the last few years under Marco Silva. And he thinks that Mitrovic is going to have his best Premier League season next season, which is fantastic to hear. I know it's just one opinion, but that sort of opinion is quite heavy when it goes out to many listeners, and he does like 5 Live and stuff. So hopefully he can like keep banging that drum all summer and for next season as well. And hopefully it comes to fruition, Joe. Let's leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Joe, any final words before we close the curtain?
Nothing from me. If you're going to the Forest game, or if you're watching at home, or if you're just following it, or even not following it, enjoy it. Enjoy, hopefully, another win. And if not, then at the very least this time, it might just help them catch Bournemouth. So there is a silver lining no matter what the result is tomorrow. But I don't agree with the people saying that they want Fulham to lose. No. I'm a Fulham fan. Forest can do their own thing if they want to catch Bournemouth. If they win tomorrow, fair enough, but I won't be happy about it. Come on, you Whites.
Yeah, I'm guessing Forest have sold out their relegation as well. It should be an absolute cracker.
I presume so, yeah.
Yeah, my dad's turning up to that one for his one game a season. He got offered a spare, to be fair. He's not even a Fulham fan at heart, just like unlike his sons. Enjoy whatever you're doing tonight. I guess it's Monday Night Football, so Palace v Leeds. Come on, Palace. I suppose that would make things very interesting in the relegation battle. So who would you actually want to be that third team going down? Let's say Watford and Norwich are already down. Who's the third?
Leeds.
Oh.
It might be the toughest, but I want Leeds down. Burnley, I think, are the weakest squad.
Mhm.
They're losing a few as well. Regardless of staying up, it looks like Tarkovsky and me might go. Bemi, assistant manager at the moment,
Yeah, that's incredible.
which is just fantastic. Yeah, I think Leeds, that's partly my bias due to the Everton family ties, as I've already said. I presume most want Everton down.
I do, yeah.
But Leeds for me would just also, regardless of anything else, it would be absolutely hysterical, I think.
I sort of went too early with Leeds because I watched them beat Watford 3-0 and I was like, well, they're safe. That's them done. Jesse Marshall's in good spirits. He's a good guy, by the way. But they're not done. They have to win tonight. And Palace have to win tonight because, let's not get into it because it's the Premier League. We're still in the Championship. Well, we're not. But
No, we're not, Jack.
We are Premier League. Let's keep saying that until the curtain comes down on next season, where hopefully we can continue saying it for the next 13, 14, 15, 20 years and say we are Champions League, Conference League, Europa League, FA Cup, Community Shield winners, Carabao Cup. I'm waffling now. I just don't want this to ever end. Joe, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks a lot, Jack. Thanks for watching, guys.
Guys, enjoy the Forest game. If you see any of us, come say hello and come on Fulham.